Natasha Henstridge was viewing a motion picture on Brett Ratner's lounge chair when she nodded off. She was a 19-year-old design display. He was a best-in-class music video executive in his mid-20s. They had been hanging out before the TV with companions at his New York apartment. Yet, when Henstridge woke up, the others had cleared out. She was separated from everyone else with Ratner. She got up to leave, Henstridge stated. However, he hindered the entryway with his body and wouldn't move. He started touching himself, she stated. At that point constrained her to perform oral sex. He solid furnished me truly. He physically constrained himself on me, she said. Eventually, I gave in and he did his thing. Ratner, through his lawyer Martin Singer, debated her record. Since that occurrence in the mid-1990s, Henstridge has discovered accomplishment as a performer, featuring in the movies Species and The Whole Nine Yards. But she said she has conveyed the memory of the run-in with her, and viewed from a remote place as Ratner ended up plainly one of Hollywood's most intense players, coordinating, creating and financing many the present greatest film industry hits, including Surge Hour, X-Men The Last Stand, The Revenant and Loathsome Bosses, as several women have approached as of late with assertions of sexual unfortunate behavior on account of maker Harvey Weinstein, Chief James Toback and various other effective men. Henstridge chose she would never again stay noiseless. In interviews with the Los Angeles Times, Henstridge and 5 other women blamed Ratner for a scope of sexual harassment and unfortunate behavior that professedly occurred in private homes, on motion picture sets, or at industry occasions. As is frequently the case, none of the women detailed the charges to the police. For Ratner's benefit, Singer completely questioned their records. I have spoken to Mr. Ratner for 2 decades, and no lady has ever constructed a claim against him for sexual wrongdoing or sexual harassment, Singer said in a 10-page letter to the Times. Besides, no lady has ever asked for or gotten any monetary settlement from my customer. Olivia Munn said that while going to the arrangement of the 2004 Ratner coordinated After the Sunset when she was as yet a yearning on-screen character, he jerked off before her in his trailer when she went to convey a supper. Munn expounded on the episode in her 2010 accumulation of expositions without naming Ratner. On a network show a year later, Ratner distinguished himself as the chief, and asserted that he had slammed her, something he later said was not valid. That year her book was distributed. Munn kept running into Ratner at a gathering tossed by Creative Artists Agency, and he gloated of discharging on magazine covers highlighting her picture, she revealed to the Times. She said that steady false gossipy tidbits that they had been personal have maddened her, inciting her to converse with the Times in help of other women who are overcome enough to talk up. I've made particular, scrupulous decisions not to work with Brett Ratner, Munn said. It feels as though I keep going up against a similar harasser at school who just won't quit, she said. You simply trust that enough individuals trust reality and for enough time to pass with the goal that you can't be associated with him any longer. Ratner intensely questioned Munn's claims, Singer said. A Playboy persona, Ratner, 48, has since quite a while ago paraded his Playboy persona, gloating openly about his sexual ability. He has been impractically connected to any semblance of Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan and Mariah Carey. In December, Tina Fey, talking at the Hollywood Reporter's yearly Women in Entertainment breakfast, split Brett Ratner is here. With all due respect, he thought this was where you could have breakfast off of 100 women. For quite a long time, he palled around with Robert Evans, the smooth-haired previous creation boss at Paramount Pictures who was later indicted trafficking cocaine, and tobacco, who, as the Times revealed a month ago, has been blamed for sexual unfortunate behavior by more than 300 women. In a January meet with Variety, Ratner said Evans, Toback and Roman Polanski, who was sentenced having unlawful sex with a minor in 1977, were among his dearest companions, after Ratner jested that practices for fags while showing up at a 2011 screening of his film Tower Heist. He was broadly condemned. The slip cost him a plum gig. He immediately surrendered from creating the 2012 Academy Awards broadcast and issued a statement of regret, calling it an imbecilic method for conveying everything that needs to be conveyed. In interviews, Ratner has attempted to smooth out the harsh edges of his awful kid picture, particularly more as of late, as he has extended his business wonders. In 2012, Ratner helped to establish generation organization Rat Pack Entertainment. After a year, Rat Pack banded together with now Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin's Dune Entertainment to make the venture vehicle Rat Pack Dune Entertainment, which inked a co-financing manage Warner Brothers worth about $450 million. Among Ratner's official creating credits by means of those organizations are Jersey Boys and Dark Mass. The movie producer regularly has told correspondents that he doesn't utilize medications or drink liquor some of the time, in counting his absence of indecencies. Ratner additionally calls attention to his adoration for wonderful women, saying, for instance, in a 2008 Jewish journal story, "I'm not into dim stuff. I'm only a pleasant Jewish child, who adores motion pictures and pretty girls." On-screen character Jamie Ray Newman said Ratner put it all the more obtusely to her, clarifying in foul terms that he required sex, not liquor or medications. Newman said she experienced Ratner in 2005 when they were both in top-notch on an Air Canada flight. The movie producer swapped seats with his partner before flight so he could be alongside her, she said. Newman, who was headed to shoot her initially significant acting part on the TV Indicate Extraordinary, was eager to chat with a renowned chief going to rudder X-Men The Last Stand, she said. Inside 5 minutes of the plane taking off, she stated, Ratner started boisterously depicting sex acts he needed to perform on her in express detail. He likewise demonstrated her bare photographs of his then-girlfriend, said Newman, 39, who stars on Netflix Inevitable The Punisher. He was graphically portraying giving me oral sex and how he was dependent on it, she said. Newman said she was so shaken by the experience that she promptly educated a modest bunch of individuals concerning it. Both her mom and a companion affirmed to The Times that the performing artist shared subtle elements not long after the flight. Ratner, through his lawyer, denied that the occurrence happened, alluding to it as a silly case. Performer Catherine Town additionally depicted a forceful go-ahead by Ratner that left her so awkward that she said she still distinctively recollects the occurrence years after the fact. She said she met the chief in L.A. around 2005 at a gathering in a motion picture star's home, where he made undesirable advances. Ratner, she stated, was tireless, making it apparent that he had one intention, to lay down with her. He began to make advances on me in a way that was so outrageous, said Town, 39, whose credits incorporate the film What Lies Beneath. The performer, who is the little girl of Chinatown screenwriter Robert Town, pardoned herself. Ratner took after her into a lavatory. I believe it's entirely forceful to run in the washroom with somebody you don't know and close the entryway, Town said. She said she was apprehensive, and endeavored to make a joke about her weight. I don't realize what you need with me. I'm somewhat tubby right at this point. He was determined. I like them tubby at times, she said. Ratner answered. Town gave Ratner her number, wanting to mollify him. Ratner's aide called her for the following half year, unsuccessfully endeavoring to mastermind a supper for her and the producer, she said. Ratner's lawyer Singer called Town's record foolish. Regardless of the possibility that speculatively this occurrence happened precisely as guaranteed, how is being a teaser to gathering, complimenting a lady on her appearance, and calling her to approach her for a date, wrongful, lead singer said. Albeit some have scrutinized his lead, Ratner has protectors in the business, including 5 previous aides who have worked intimately with him consistently. David Steeman, Hopi Dobula, Drew Sherman, Brett Gursky and Isaac Rappaport all said that they didn't witness him act up and commended him as a supervisor and guide. Steeman, who was Ratner's associate from 1999 to 2004, said he never observed him abuse women, and would be stunned if such lead happened. Steeman noticed that Ratner dated on-screen character Rebecca Gayheart and tennis star Serena Williams amid his opportunity working for the producer. Said Dobula, a long-term previous colleague to Ratner. I believe HE's incredible. He's a family fellow. Throughout the years, Ratner has gotten a few respects for his generous and helpful undertakings. On Sunday, the Jewish National Fund gave Ratner its yearly Tree of Life award at a function in Hollywood where the visitors included filmmaker Avi Lerner, United Talent Agency Prime supporter Jim Berkus and singer Lady Gaga. The Israeli star of Wonder Woman had been slated to give the honor to Ratner. However, as The Times was giving an account of his charged sexual bad conduct a week ago, the on-screen character's marketing expert reported she would not show up at the occasion in view of a planning strife. Rather, Wonder Woman executive Patty Jenkins, who has known Ratner for a considerable length of time, displayed him the honor, saying he's gone ahead to be this genuine power in this town. He's a major character. He's a major identity. In any case, you comprehend what I adore about Brett. He needs that for every other person as well. Munz Ratner runs new to Los Angeles and seeking after an acting profession. Munz said she was excited when a companion welcomed her to the arrangement of After the Sunset. I was so energized, on the grounds that that is the reason you turn out to California and Hollywood, reviewed the on-screen character, 37, whose credits now incorporate H-Boss, The Newsroom and the motion pictures Enchantment, Mike and X-Men Apocalypse. Not long after Munn touched base on the Santa Monica set in 2004, she stated, she was made a request to drop some sustenance off in Ratner's trailer, act of kindness, some help. She said she was guaranteed that the chief would not be there. Munn entered Ratner's trailer and immediately set the sustenance on a table. She said she was startled to discover him inside. She endeavored to make a snappy exit, yet Ratner entreated her not to take off. He exited, with his tummy standing out, no jeans on, shrimp mixed drink in one hand, and he was irately stroking off in the other, Munn said. What's more, before I actually could even make sense of where to escape or where to look, he discharged. Munn said she let out a startled shout and dashed out of the trailer. She said she instantly told the man who had requested that her convey the nourishment. His response, it wasn't stun. It wasn't astonished, Munn reviewed. It was simply, ugh, too bad about that. Munn said she cleared out the set and called her sister, Sarah Potts, who encouraged her to talk with a legal counselor. Potts affirmed Munn's record. The lawyer discouraged her from going up against an effective executive as a juvenile on-screen character, so she didn't do anything. That left an effect on me, Munn stated, thinking about the discussion. How broken do women need to be before individuals tune in? She expounded on the episode in her book, Suck It, Wonder Woman, The Misadventures of a Hollywood Geek, however stripped out names and points of interest. Amid a 2011 appearance on Assault of the Show, a TV program Munn already co-facilitated, Ratner distinguished himself as the anonymous executive, however prevented stroking off in front from claiming her. I used to date Olivia Munn. I will be straightforward with everyone here, he said. When she was Lisa, that was the issue. She wasn't Asian in those days. I slammed her a couple of times, be that as it may, I overlooked her, he said. Days after the fact, he went on the Howard Stern show and conceded he never laid down with Munn, and communicated humility for influencing her hope to like a prostitute. I felt horrendous, he told the Sirius XM radio host. I said I slammed her 3 times, which wasn't valid, because of inquiries from the Times. Singer said that Munn and Ratner had to be sure had a close relationship. Munn depicted that as an entire lie. I shouldn't need to be totally broken, battered, and cheapened so as to demonstrate that he crossed a line, she said. Munn said she kept on running into Ratner at a modest bunch of Hollywood occasions. In 2010, after as of late showing up on the front of a magazine, she went to a car-facilitated get-together where, she stated, Ratner asked her, for what reason do you detest me? She said she let him know it's to a greater extent an aversion. Ratner developed irate, she stated, and reacted, why I purchased 10 of your magazines and came over every one of them. Artist said Ratner has no memory of putting forth such an expression. Quickly after the run-in, Munn disclosed to her companion Cara McConnell, whom she hosted United to the Get, about what unfolded. She came up to me right subsequently, McConnell said. She said I can trust this transpired. I can trust he did that. A performing artist who caught the discussion affirmed Munn's record. A third-party go affirmed being informed promptly concerning the revolting experience from somebody who caught it specifically. Rush Hour 2 set the asserted episode with Munn isn't the just a single to supposedly happen on set of a Ratner-helmed film. For individuals who were engaged with a generation of Ratner's Surge Hour 2 in Las Vegas in 2001 depicted a sexually charged environment, one in which the chief was seeking after women. The PG-13 film incorporates a few scenes highlighting women in swimming outfits and undergarments, and the set, as per these individuals, was abounding with excellent young ladies. Eri Sasaki, at that point a 21-year-old low-maintenance demonstrant and trying vocalist, said her part as an additional expected her to wear a meager outfit that uncovered her waist. While sitting tight to film to start one day, Ratner moved toward her, ran his pointer down her exposed stomach and inquired as to whether she needed to go into a washroom with him. When she said no, she reviewed Ratner, saying, "Would prefer you not to be well known." A day or two later, Ratner again requesting that her go into the washroom with him, and again inquired as to whether she needed to be a film star. He offered to give her a line of exchange in the film. Sasaki said no. Artists said Ratner has no memory of the claimed occurrence. Jorena King likewise filled in as a foundation on-screen character on the film. On the main day of shooting, King stated, Ratner culled her from a hoard of female additional items and said he later needed to examine giving her a talking part. The following day, he requesting that her go to his trailer and disclose to her he expected to see her bosoms, she said. Lord said she dismissed his demand and stowed away in a restroom. I assumed if I could remain out of his visual perception, in the event that I could avoid him, he will disregard me and he will pick another person, and that is precisely what happened, King stated, including that she dreaded him, and losing the work. Kent Richards, who was a creation collaborator on the arrangement of Surge Hour 2, said that Sasaki let him know, amid the generation, about her involvement with Ratner. He additionally said he reviewed a discussion in which King communicated being awkward on set, and referenced Ratner. Richards likewise said a few other Foundation on-screen characters grumbled to him, were asserting that Ratner requesting that they demonstrate to him their bosoms or to touch his penis. Vocalist debated Richards' record, calling it a used tale about anonymous people. David Anthony, whose organization at the time, Background Players, took care of additional items throwing for the film's shoot in LA. Furthermore, Las Vegas, said that 3 Foundation performers who took a shot at the undertaking disclosed to him that Ratner had asked them out on dates. With all due respect, I am certain he isn't the main heterosexual man hitting on women on that set, he said. Ruler, who later established the Foundation throwing office Wild Streak Talent, said that Shed managed terse men on film sets, however not at all like Ratner. He feels entitled, this is the thing that he needs, this is the manner by which it will be, and this feels like ordinary business to him, she said. Vocalist called King's cases preposterous and outlandish. The motion picture was clearly as of now cast and shooting, so the idea that there would be an exchange of getting her a talking part amidst a film shoot is strange, Singer said. He gave an announcement by James M. Freytag, a colleague chief on the set, who said that he got no such dissensions amid Surge Hour 2 shooting. Any grievances of any sort including sexual harassment would be promptly coordinated to my consideration, Freytag said. There were no protestations answered to me at all, seeing Ratner again since their experience in New York in the 1990s. Henstridge, 43, has run into Ratner various circumstances in Hollywood, including once amid the most recent 10 years at a gathering with her companion Amy Del Rio. She saw somebody in the group and her nonverbal communication changed, said Del Rio, a diversion legal counselor. I inquired as to whether she was okay and she said no. Then I saw she was taking a gander at Brett Ratner. I inquired as to whether she knew him. She stated, he's not a decent person. I knew him once upon a time in New York. She was truly odd, similar to, I wanna leave, Henstridge nitty-gritty the claimed experience with Ratner to Del Rio just inside the most recent month. In any case, 3 other individuals, a previous beau, a neighbor and a dear companion, affirmed to the Times that Henstridge enlightened them regarding the occurrence over an about 10-year duration starting in the mid-1990s. Despite the fact that he recognized investing energy with her, Ratner questioned Henstridge's cases. Vocalist blamed the performing artist for being agitated in the wake of taking in my customer had a girlfriend who he would not leave for her. Henstridge disclosed to the Times that she was not intrigued by dating Ratner and, before that night, had never been distant from everyone else with him. Henstridge's neighbor Lilith Badistewski said that the on-screen character informed her concerning the episode with Ratner in the mid-2000s. I recollect when she was heading off to some tryout and she says, I don't know whether I ought to go or not, but rather Ratner presumably won't be there. And she returned and she was shaking, Badistewski reviewed. In fact, Henstridge, who as of late showed up on the TV programs Medina and Magnificence and the Beast, went to a tryout for the TV dramatization Jailbreak, which Ratner official did, knowing he may be in the room. What's more, he was, said the on-screen character, who has 2 children, ages 16 and 19. I had 2 youthful children and needed to go to work and bring home the bacon. Also, he just acted like we were old companions from some time ago in New York, saying, I haven't seen you in years. Auditioning is as of now sufficiently terrible. Yet, endeavoring to concentrate on the work, I just felt debilitated. She didn't get the part. Source LATimes.com. Actresses accusing Brett Ratner of sexual harassment and misbehavior was last modified November 1, 2017 by Ronnie Jack.